Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it today. Hey, I'm out traveling with the family, and I thought to myself, where's a quiet place that I could go and film a video? And you know what? It occurred to me, the gym. Nobody's going to be in the gym. So here I am in the gym, and it is quiet and semi-peaceful. So anyway, I just was thinking about something that I could talk with you about while I'm out here, and I was thinking, there's a couple things that you should not do when it comes to yourself, taking care of yourself, especially with regard to the VA and VA claims specifically. And so that's what I wanted to touch on, was a couple things. I'm going to give a story about a neighbor of mine as well, and this is kind of a highlight of what not to do. And it's not something that we typically think about. It's more of just this, I don't know, the way the process works, I guess. Anyway, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. So with that, I'm going to start with the story. So my old neighbor, I met him, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that, about 4 years ago. And, I moved in, and you know how it is. A week, whatever goes by, a week and a half. He happens to be outside walking his dog or whatever, and I was outside. And so I took a moment and, introduced myself. And, usually within a few sentences or so, I'm usually kind of, hey, so did you ever serve in the military? Just to see if there's that commonality, and it just gives a nice little way to start the conversation, right? So sure enough, he's yes, and I asked him, where did you serve? What branch were you in? All that good stuff. And he was Navy. He was in Vietnam, and he told me that he was on the little river boats, right, going up and down the rivers. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, that's wild. Welcome home, brother. Glad you're here. Glad you're with us. And thanks for everything you did. And, we had some of that talk, moved on. And then, this kind of is one of the ways that I always think of things when it comes to this stuff, is never assume the person you're talking to is squared away with the VA, because more often than not, they are not squared away with the VA. And so I asked him, hey, so are you all squared away with the VA? Just want to make sure you're good to go. And he kind of looked at me and went, well, I tried when I got out and got back, and, they told me I was making too much money. Now, because I was aware of how the VA works and the process and the different components and all the nuance, automatically I already had a sneaking suspicion of what happened. And the reality is, and for those that don't know, the VA, when you say VA, right, everybody says VA, but really the VA is a three-headed monster, okay? It is the VHA, which is the Veterans Healthcare Administration, the doctor's offices, the clinics, that type of stuff. You got your VBA, which is your Veterans Benefits Administration, so anything from your veteran claim for disability to pension stuff to education, to home loans, all that falls under the Benefits Administration. Then you have the National Cemeteries Administration. So it's broken into three components. And so when he got out, he did not go to the VBA and tell them, hey, I was told, or I think I'm supposed to sign up, or I'm supposed to do something with you. He didn't go to them. What he did was he went to the VHA and asked them, hey, I'm supposed to sign up with you, or I wanted to see if I could get connected with you, or whatever he said. And the worker there asked him a few questions. And basically, if you wanted to pull it up, this is on the form 1010, and I'll put it in the comments or in the description below for you. But there's a list of criteria in order to be able to go to the VHA for care, for your medical care. So there is a list of criteria, and one of the criteria, so it's kind of like a meet any of these type of criteria, right? So the most common way that veterans are able to go to the VHA for medical care is that they have a medical condition that's service-connected. That medical condition that's service-connected, or conditions, open up the doorway to the VHA for medical care. And then, so I can just envision this conversation back in 1970, so are you service connected with the VA? No, that's why I just came here. I don't really know what to do. Oh, okay, so you're not service connected? No, okay. What is your income, which is another qualifier to get into the VHA for care. So what's your income? Well, you make too much money because you make over the federal poverty level. Oh, okay. So I don't qualify for anything. No, you don't, sir. Okay, thanks. All right, bye. And off he goes. Now, it drives me nuts. It absolute drives me crazy. There's a few things. This is one of them. That the VHA representative, and I just can't even fathom it like today. If this happens today, it's just going to drive me nuts. Somebody walks in and the person that they're talking to does that. Instead of going, oh, well, it sounds like you should probably go talk to an accredited veteran service officer, or go to a veteran service officer, or go to a veteran claim agent, or go to see a veterans representative, go to somebody who does claims, right? And file a claim with the VA. You should go talk to them. At least go talk to them and see what you can do. Because that, if you got service connected, would open up the doorway to VHA, the Veteran Healthcare Administration, right? So they should be having that type of conversation with the veteran, letting them know, hey, look, you don't qualify today, but you should go talk to this person or these people or a person like this in order to see if they could find another way for you, right? So that's one thing, right? So the problem here, and what you should not do, is wait 50 years to re-explore. Now, luckily, I was his neighbor, right? So luckily, I moved in and I had that conversation, and then I said, hey, it sounds like this is what you did. Here's the reality. The reality is that there's a whole list of presumptive conditions, such as diabetes, such as ischemic heart disease, such as this, such as that, such as a host of cancers. Do any of these things apply to you? Yes and yes. Okay. Those are two presumptive conditions, and that's pretty easy to get. That's not going to be an issue. We should file for those. And oh, by the way, we should probably file for PTSD. And so we did all that. And out the gate, within 8 months, guess what? 80% rating in an 8-month time frame that he never had before. And at first, we're like jumping up and down, super excited. Man, this is great. Then I'm pissed again because I'm going, 50 years this guy went without. 50 years this guy went without and had to do whatever he had to do for him and his family and his wife, and no support, no supportive services, no anything from the VA. Because that one VA worker didn't have the wherewithal to say, hey, you should probably go talk to a veteran claim agent or a veteran service officer or somebody, right? So what you shouldn't do is wait 50 years, right? That's one thing. And the other thing that you shouldn't do is delay in putting in your intent to file. Your intent to file is absolute gold, okay? That intent to file, one, it puts yourself on notice, right? So it's telling yourself, hey, look, I'm going to file a claim in the next 12 months. But more importantly, it's telling the VA that you're going to put a claim in the next 12 months. And if you do so, you will get back pay to the date of that intent to file. And that is a very, very important tool that you should use. So with that, just wanted to kind of throw out a couple of things not to do. And I appreciate you so much. Thanks. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.